The Book of Revelation, chapter 4 to 6. After this, I looked and saw a door having been opened in the heaven. And the first voice which I heard was like a trumpet speaking with me, saying, "Come up here, and I shall show you what has to take place after this." And immediately I came to be in the Spirit, and saw a throne set in the heaven, and one sat on the throne. And he who sat there was like a jasper and a ruby stone in appearance. And there was a rainbow around the throne, like an emerald in appearance. And around the throne were 24 thrones, and on the thrones I saw 24 elders sitting, dressed in white robes, and they had crowns of gold on their heads. And out of the throne came lightnings and thunders and voices. And 7 lamps of fire were burning before the throne, which are the 7 spirits of Elohim. And before the throne there was a sea of glass like crystal. And in the midst of the throne and around the throne were 4 living creatures covered with eyes in front and in back. And the first living creature was like a lion, and the second living creature like a calf. And the third living creature had the face like a man, and the fourth living creature was like a flying eagle. And the 4 living creatures, each having 6 wings, were covered with eyes around and within, and they do not cease day or night, saying, "Set apart, set apart, set apart, YAHUAH El Shaddai, who was and who is coming." And when the living creatures gave esteem and respect and thanks to him who sits on the throne, who lives forever and ever, the 24 elders fall down before him who sits on the throne and bow before him who lives forever and ever. And they cast their crowns before the throne, saying, "You are worthy, O YAHUAH, to receive esteem and respect and power, for you have created all. And because of your desire, they are and were created." And I saw in the right hand of him who sat on the throne a scroll written inside and on the back, having been sealed with 7 seals. And I saw a strong messenger proclaiming with a loud voice, "Who is worthy to open the scroll and to loosen its seals?" And no one in the heaven or on the earth or under the earth was able to open the scroll or to look at it. And I wept much, because no one was found worthy to open and to read the scroll or to look at it. And one of the elders said to me, "Do not weep. See, the Lion of the tribe of Yehudah, the root of David, overcame to open the scroll and to loosen its 7 seals." And I looked and saw in the midst of the throne and of the 4 living creatures, and in the midst of the elders, a lamb standing, as having been slain, having 7 horns and 7 eyes, which are the 7 spirits of Elohim sent out into all the earth. And he came and took the scroll out of the right hand of him sitting on the throne. And when he took the scroll, the 4 living creatures and the 24 elders fell down before the Lamb, each holding a harp and golden bowls filled with incense, which are the prayers of the set-apart ones. And they sang a renewed song, saying, "You are worthy to take the scroll and to open its seals, because you were slain and have redeemed us to Elohim by your blood out of every tribe and tongue and people and nation, and made us sovereigns and priests to our Elohim, and we shall reign upon the earth." And I looked, and I heard the voice of many messengers around the throne, and the living creatures and the elders. And the number of them was myriads of myriads and thousands of thousands, saying with a loud voice, "Worthy is the Lamb, having been slain, to receive power and riches and wisdom and strength and respect and esteem and blessing." And every creature which is in the heaven and on the earth and under the earth, and such as are in the sea, and all that are in them, I heard saying, "To him sitting on the throne and to the Lamb be the blessing and the respect and the esteem and the might forever and ever." And the 4 living creatures said, "Amen." And the 24 elders fell down and bowed before him who lives forever and ever. And I saw when the Lamb opened one of the seals, and I heard one of the 4 living creatures saying, like a sound of thunder, "Come and see." And I looked and saw a white horse, and he who sat on it holding a bow, and a crown was given to him, and he went out overcoming and to overcome. And when he opened the second seal, I heard the second living creature saying, "Come and see." And another horse, fiery red, went out, and it was given to the one who sat on it to take peace from the earth, and that they should slay one another. And a great sword was given to him. And when he opened the third seal, I heard the third living creature say, "Come and see." And I looked and saw a black horse, and he who sat on it holding a pair of scales in his hand. And I heard a voice in the midst of the 4 living creatures saying, "A measure of wheat for a denarius, and 3 measures of barley for a denarius. And do not harm the oil and the wine." And when he opened the 4th seal, I heard the voice of the 4th living creature saying, "Come and see." And I looked and saw a green horse, and he who sat on it had the name Death, and Sheol followed with him. And authority was given to them over 1/4 of the earth to kill with sword, and with hunger, and with death, and by the beasts of the earth. And when he opened the 5th seal, I saw under the slaughter place the beings of those having been slain for the word of Elohim and for the witness which they held. And they cried with a loud voice, saying, "How long, O Master, set apart and true, until you judge and avenge our blood on those who dwell on the earth?" And there was given to each one a white robe, and they were told that they should rest a little while longer until both the number of their fellow servants and their brothers, who would be killed as they were, was completed. And I looked when he opened the 6th seal, and saw a great earthquake came to be. And the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood. And the stars of the heaven fell to the earth as a fig tree drops its unripe figs, being shaken by a strong wind. And heaven departed like a scroll being rolled up, and every mountain and island was moved out of its place. And the sovereigns of the earth, and the great ones, and the rich ones, and the commanders, and the mighty, and every slave, and every free one, hid themselves in the caves and in the rocks of the mountains, and said to the mountains and rocks, "Fall on us and hide us from the face of him sitting on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb, because the great day of his wrath has come, and who is able to stand?"